Is this a good deal? Have you ever been asked that question by your CFO or CEO right after you hire a financial advisor? A program manager that I recently talked to was asked that question by his CFO, and he said, I didn't have an answer. And I told him, I don't know. He went to his relationship manager at the broker dealer that represents that particular program, and he asked the relationship manager the very same question. And the relationship manager, after stumbling through a word salad of about 2 or 3 minutes, never really answered it. And the program manager that I talked to said he didn't think he wanted to answer the question. Look, community banks and credit unions today are hiring much bigger producers than they ever have before. Producers that bring books of business with them, and those are very expensive and can cost a lot of money. The finances around larger producers and teams can be very complicated. Was there a third party recruiter involved? Who pays for that? Was it an upfront capital deal only, or were there back end bogeys that involved capital that the advisor or team has access to? How is that split between the broker dealer and the financial institution? What kind of guarantees are going to be tied to this money? What kind of guarantees do you have to provide to the broker dealer for the money that they're giving you? Do you just pass that through to the financial advisor? Do you do that in a promissory note, or do you do that in just simple payback clauses? Is there going to be an accelerated payout tied to this particular transaction? How does that affect the CBA of this advisor being hired or this team being brought on board? To complicate things further, the person that you are negotiating with is someone you're never going to talk to. They are tucked away inside of a basement somewhere in the broker dealer, and their job, frankly, is to make sure that the broker dealer spends the least amount of money possible to get that particular financial advisor or team hired. And that's okay. I'm not knocking that. I get it. That's their job. They run a business just like you do. What I'm saying is that if you don't understand the finances on that, how do you possibly negotiate? How can you possibly negotiate? And from our perspective, our job is the exact same thing that finance person in the broker dealer has. My job, when I represent a client and we're helping finance a financial advisor or a team, is to make sure that my client, the bank or credit union, is paying the least amount possible to acquire that team or hire that financial advisor. Since 2007, Compass has financed and helped hire nearly 350 financial advisors and teams into our client banks and credit unions. The average T12 during that time, from 2007 to present, 436,000. However, since 2020, the average T12 has ballooned to $827,000. For larger producers and teams, seven-figure money is in play. And that can be very expensive to your bottom line if it's not negotiated properly. Hiring advisors that bring books of business with them for sure comes with a cost. But when I'm asked, is this a good deal by a CFO or a program manager that we're working with, I can confidently say yes.